How is Singapore's economy doing after COVID-19? Singapore will be the first country to recover from economic slump after the COVID-19, take my word for it. Thailand is in jubilation when the WHO selects Thailand and New Zealand as star players in combating the COVID-19 successfully in recent months. Little do they know that the economy in Thailand is in grave danger as manufacturing, building construction, agricultural, and seafood-related sectors will remain closed even after the COVID-19. No workers. Top Thailand kicked out over 300,000 migrant workers at separate borders. The partial lockdown in Bangkok, an order by the Thai Interior Ministry to close 18 border points taking effect on March 23, triggered a mass exodus of migrant workers from Myanmar, Cambodia, and Laos, with estimates ranging between 60,000 and 200,000 people having left the country. International Labour Rights Forum March 27, 2020 to resume the manufacturing business by calling back the workers. Each worker needs to be quarantined for 14 days, paying 1,000 baht a day, amounting to 14,000 baht. Since the lockdown, the overall business has been badly hit, especially in the manufacturing sector, and employers are skeptical of paying such expenses to resume businesses. They are unsure who they will sell to, since the border remains closed. Besides, the export appears gloomy and uncertain. Singapore, on the other hand, has a foresight. When Singapore closed its border with Malaysia, it retained all 300,000 workers in the country, with tedious procedures for testing and isolating them until they are fit enough to resume their duty as normal. Singapore keeps 300,000 migrant workers in separate dormitories. Singapore is decisive about taking on such task of keeping all the migrant workers. Knowingly without workers, the country will be like a toothless lion. I am pretty sure that when things get back to normal once again, Singapore will be on top of the world with business as usual, and with the last laugh. This is no big surprise. Structurally, we are predisposed to global crisis as we are a financial and trading hub. The vicissitudes of external macroeconomic trends determine our direction. Just look at the government's response. The 4 COVID-19 packages alone cost $93 billion, about $15 billion more than the entire government budget. Most of that has gone to saving as many jobs in the economy. Nonetheless, unemployment figures is expected to reach record levels of over 100,000. Outward-oriented sectors highly reliant on services, tourism and trade has, and will continue to be, hit severely. Last month, 3,800 companies closed down while the state rolled out funded worker apprenticeship packages to stem the bleeding. Of course, there are some sectors, like communications and biomedicine, evidently, that still see growth. 2. On the larger scale, our economy is likely to contract about 4 to 7% in the worst recession we have ever seen. 3. However, there is still some good news. The government has, over decades, extensively prepared the funds, resources and programs to deal with crises of this magnitude. Unlike other countries, who can't afford such stimulus packages, Singapore has accumulated a healthy fiscal reserve (MAS Forex, Temasek portfolio, GIC funds) of probably over $1 trillion to dig into. 4. Hopefully, this spending will help the recovery phase of the economy as businesses and workplaces slowly reopen. Furthermore, I'm fairly confident that we will mostly succeed in quelling further mass outbreaks of COVID-19 by the time of Phase 2 or 3 of the circuit breaker ending. A combined inter-ministry and inter-agency effort MO, MHA, SPF, NEA, MINDEF, SAF, has made significant progress, though we did bungle up the migrant workers case at the start.